Hi everyone, I should be live right now, so I'm just making sure everything is set up. You can all hear me because we have breaking news right now about what's going on in Westminster. Real theatre down there, in every sense of the word. It's a shit show. Let's face it. Still not getting notification that I am actually live right now, so aha. Because we have breaking news. We are. Hi everyone. As you can probably see from the title of this, if I have written it on correctly, I have the UK Parliament suspension has been ruled unlawful in a unanimous decision by UK Parliament, by the UK Supreme Court, and so there we go. That's it. That's done, dusted. Boris lied to the Queen. Boris lied to the Queen. Okay, so what's going to happen next, do you think? Think he's going to resign? We'll get there in a second. Unanimous decision to say that by the Supreme Court judges to say that yes, the Parliament was suspension. There is a lot of people at the moment saying, well, what rule did he break? What law did he break? And it's all up in the air. But as we know, because the Supreme Court has made this decision, and of course they're going to talk about it for days, for endless days afterwards, we know that Parliament is going to resume tomorrow. Well, say resume. Is it resume? Well, let's let John Burko tell you what's going to go on.
In the light of that explicit judgment, I have instructed the House authorities to prepare not for the recall, the prorogation was unlawful and is void, to prepare for the resumption of the business of the House of Commons. Specifically, I've instructed the House authorities to undertake such steps as are necessary to ensure that the House of Commons sits tomorrow and that it does so at 11:30 a.m.
So he's saying that the MPs will be called in tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. Now, I know that it's meant to be PMQs, isn't it? On a Tuesday.
I have contacted party leaders, and where that has not been possible, senior representatives of political parties, in order to inform them of my thinking and to prepare the way for the House of Commons to do its work. Owing to notification requirements, with which I'm sure you're all closely familiar, it will not be possible for there to be a Prime Minister's questions tomorrow. However, for the avoidance of doubt...
So there won't be a PMQs tomorrow, he says.
There will be full scope for urgent questions, for ministerial statements, and for applications for emergency debates under Standing Order number 24. Colleagues, I thank you for your interest, and I hope you will agree that the position is clear and unmistakable. Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's totally unmistakable for a massive shower of shit. That's what it is. It's totally unmistakable. It's clear that what is happening down there right now is a massive shower of shit. Parliament will resume tomorrow because Boris Johnson lied to the Queen, misled the Queen, and suspended or prorogued Parliament. Illegally, so they're saying, although what legality he's on there, I don't know, like I say. I want to draw your attention to something, and I want to ask you a question, right? I've got a lot of grief from Jeremy Corbyn supporters over the last week, and some will say rightly so, but you know what? I'm trying to save a man's life. It doesn't bother me if I'm treading on your toes. I do want to stick up for him here because do you remember all this? Do you remember the outrage over him snubbing the Queen, Corbyn? Do you remember the absolute outrage in the media? This is just a couple of things that I picked up on before I went live. Just to, you know, do you remember this anorak business? How him wearing a grey anorak was pissing all over, you know, Great Britain and the legacy of Great Britain and the soldiers and the heroes. Boris Johnson has just been, the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom have just basically said that yes, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, the Conservative Prime Minister, lied to the Queen and acted unlawfully. If Jeremy Corbyn was Prime Minister and did that, they would drag him out to Trafalgar Square. He would be hung, drawn, quartered, disemboweled and beheaded. His head would be put on a spike on the Tower of London, and his body parts would be sent to the four corners of Great Britain as a warning against anybody who comes into this country with a notion of being a socialist again. If Corbyn lied to the Queen, he would be in prison right now, at the very least. Boris Johnson probably will still be Prime Minister come the weekend. As to what happens next, honestly, it's a show. It's a theatre. It's a total theatre. It's all over this Brexit nonsense and everybody's saying, oh, we've got no sovereignty and the UK, you know, our vote doesn't matter. It doesn't. It really doesn't, regardless of Brexit. So, there you go. Tomorrow, it looks like Parliament will resume or will continue sitting or whatever the terminology there Burkow used. And the politicians will get there, and I suppose in the time that, you know, in the 15 days or whatever it is, 20 days that they have saved from resuming, and the 20 days that they've got back, that's another, you know, 3 or 4 weeks that they've got to not sort out Brexit. Because let's face it, who here believes in that time they're going to? They really don't want to give you Brexit, just like as I've said all along. If that was Jeremy Corbyn, he'd be dead. His head would be on a spike. Don't you agree? Hi everyone in the chat. I'm just to update you. Your services are required beyond the 31st of October, John Burkow says, William Nixon. Hi everybody in the chat. Charlie says Brexit was called under false pretenses in the first place to keep Labour out in 2015 and to continue phase 2 of austerity. I think they borrowed 420 billion at the same time. They won. Yeah. Okay. It was called under false pretenses. We know why it was called. It was called by Cameron to appease the right of his party and yeah, to keep Labour out. But you know, the other side of that coin is to remain in power. And that's why they did it, rather than to keep Labour out. It's to remain in power. Peter Hitchens says they would behead the Queen in Trafalgar Square if it meant holding out of power, and they still believe that. The Conservatives definitely would have. Titch, what have you missed? Not a lot. The Parliament will resume tomorrow and not sort out Brexit. That's basically what's going to happen. Boris Johnson has lied to the Queen and will probably face no repercussions at all. None. Honestly, I don't think he's going to. Jeremy Corbyn will be hung, drawn and quartered and beheaded and disemboweled. And I don't think Boris Johnson's going to even resign. It's so hilarious. The theatre. Hilarious. Couple of things just before I leave. I've got a couple of days now where I've got to do some personal stuff around here and prepare for the weekend. Because the weekend I am going to let me get it first. Can't do it. I'll put newspaper clips. So yeah, on Saturday I'll be there. I've got to prepare for that. I've got a couple of things that I need to do over the next couple of days, so I will be gone. I do have a couple of videos that I've done. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to record them, though. I've written the scripts for them. Yes, I have scripts for most of my videos now. Not this one, though. This was just an impromptu one. So no prorogue, says Paul Howitt. They're going to go back. Yeah, they're going to go back tomorrow. Revolution Time, says Erin Allcoot. I've been waiting for it. Waiting for it for over a year now. They're taking. They've took away journalism. They took away a free press. We don't have democracy. What's it going to take for people to stand up? We don't have democracy. You don't have rights. You don't have human rights if they can take them away. You have the illusion of them, and that's why I'm going to be there. And I urge you all to, if you can't make it, get on Twitter. You know, start shouting free Assange at everybody. Start to reply everybody. You know, be nice to them. Get him trending. You know, you can Labour supporters. You can get Laura Kunsberg trending for 2 days. Let's get free Assange trending all weekend if you can't be there. You know, and that's not just Labour supporters either. You get Boris Johnson supporters and people who are going to vote Brexit and people who have checked out of the whole thing. Get involved. You know, if you can't be there, get it trending. Get free Assange trending on Twitter. You know, go start giving some MPs some doses of truth. But be nice, be civil. You know, stick to the facts. Don't harass, which is something that I have huge trouble not doing when I'm speaking to these idiots. I'm very sorry about the problem with the microphone, by the way, in the last couple of videos. I don't know what happened. I think I just had the gain turned down too low. I'm hoping that it's fine now. Is the sound fine, by the way, everybody in the chat? Can you let me know? It should be. And yeah, I've got 2 videos to prepare for today and another couple to edit. So I'll drop those over the next couple of days. Otherwise, it's probably going to be Thursday, Friday, until you see me again or see from me again. Yeah, we have to grow spines and go out into the streets, says Titch. I agree, but then I would. She'd batter me. She wouldn't really. She's really nice. All right, everyone. I'm going to get off and try and record these 2 videos so I can drop those over the next 2 days. Until I see you again, please. Peace. Please try and get down there on Saturday the 28th if you can. If not, then, yeah, tweet up a storm. Write letters to your MPs. Write letters to all the MPs if you can. Start really making some noise about this. Because there's a media blackout on him. There's a media blackout on him. They do not want to talk about him at all. Donald Trump has thrown journalism in jail, and he's been asked 2 questions by the media since then about him. 2. What does that tell you? Something evil is afoot here. We've got to stand up and stop it. Thanks very much, as always, for your support, everyone. And I'll be in touch soon. Won't we, Al? See you, everyone. Peace. Take care. Bloody.